sent some weak to shoot a gun at me. Pow! I started to call the police. And go point out because I saw the shot the gun. I was looking back and shut down the whole event. But why would I make my sister, Dr. Candace Matthews, she got white people there at home, elected officials, talking political talk, and James Prince and his goon squad, rap a lot of records. Now, don't get me wrong, we'll be making a call to the FBI in the morning. I will be calling the FBI in the morning to file a report.
So Charleston White was invited to an event in Houston, in Fifth Ward, Houston. And now it's being reported that he was shot at. He was shot at all. Listen, man, Charleston White's been saying some very, very horrible and terrible things about people, right? We already know the situation, the stuff he said about Carmelo Anthony. We know the stuff that he said about Nolan Wells and Nolan Wells' parents and everything, right? Some very disparaging things. Now he's alleging that some heathens rolled up on him and wanted to get at him about saying disparaging things about Jay Prince. Now he's in Fifth Ward, he's in Jay Prince hood. And he's alleging that these guys rolled up on him and said, yo, you need to apologize for the stuff that you said about Jay Prince. And he's saying that, he basically told them to kick rocks. They waited for him to get in the car and then they piled at him. He was invited down there because they was having the event. That the woman Candace Matthews, who wears the light skin one, who wears the cowboy hats, was always with Cornell X. She was there, and basically she had some W folks with her, some political people there, and they was having some type of event, and he came there to speak. Now, Say Cheese is reporting that Charleston White was piled at in Houston, Texas, Fifth Ward neighborhood moments ago. He was there hanging out for 3 hours when some guys pulled up and asked him to apologize for the things he said in the past. He wasn't injured. So Charleston, he responded on social media, and now all hell is breaking loose.
Jay Prince is Jay Prince mama. Them shot at me. You, Jay Prince, you can suck my ass. You and your sons can suck my together, boy. So let me tell y'all while I'm talking to James Prince Sr. the way I'm talking to him today. I'm in Houston, Texas. And I decided to go enjoy myself at Dr. Candace Matthews. Man, I done left everything in the car, man. I was going to Dr. Candace Matthews' party. So I went to Dr. Candace Matthews' birthday party, and just so happened the birthday party was in Fifth Ward, Texas. Fifth Ward, part of Houston. Everybody know Fifth Ward, that's James Prince hood. That's James Prince neighborhood. He loved Fifth Ward. He take care of Fifth Ward sissies, Fifth Ward punks, and everything in prison. We already know that. So I show up in Fifth Ward knowing that this is James Prince Rap-A-Lot in Mob Ties neighborhood, right? I show up knowing this. I go to that neighborhood by myself, no mace, no gun, no nothing, me and a... I go to Fifth Ward, Texas. Walk up to me and say, hey, woo. One came to me and said, man, we just need you to apologize. Well, guess what my apology is? With my on Jay Prince lips, him on his knees.
Now, for a person like me that's 50, right? I know James Prince been around since the 80s, right? Since the 80s with Rap-A-Lot Records, right? He come from the streets for real, right? He's known for distributing them things across the South, right? He lived that real life, that life that these rappers talk about. Jay Prince, what's the BMF dude? They really lived that life for real, right? They ain't rapping about it, they doing it, right? I just don't understand for the life of me at this age why you still in the tabloids, right? Being mentioned by people like this. You made your millions of dollars already. Why you not retiring? So now you got your sons and you connected with the mob ties. When Takeoff was unalive, your name is coming up. The situation you had with Floyd Mayweather, right? You got Shakur Williams Shakur Williams. Shakur, the boxer. You got him up under your wing. You had that situation with Almighty J, Drake, right? You got all these people, but you're in the limelight, in the spotlight, in the time of social media, where anybody could just be disrespectful and disrespect you, right? So that lure of Rap-A-Lot Records that you had across the country, that you can evoke fear in people, the internet has killed all that, right? You're old school. People like our age, 50 and over, right? The world we grew up in is over with. We grew up now in the pump fake world, right? Where people could you could be the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. You don't have to be authentic. You don't have to be who you are to go out here and blow up. So somebody like Jay Prince, because you come from that world where you had to roll up your sleeves and get in there and do real work, right? You should be somewhere just chilling, living off your millions that you made, right? Not being made a public spectacle. So now I don't know if it's true if he sent those guys to run down on Charleston White, but Charleston White is taking every chance he can get to go to social media to ruin your image.
I don't know what I am. I went to James Prince Hood, let them know I'm in the city. I went to 5th Ward by myself. And the wouldn't even take a plane to get me. It ain't nothing but a misdemeanor assault if you hit me upside the head. Man, ain't nothing but a misdemeanor assault if you hit me upside the head. Around the pistol and shot at the car. And I'm with a. Not only did they shoot at the car, they called 30 mob ties. Mob ties. They called the call mob ties. They showed up 30 deep. And all they wanted to do was to plead with me to apologize to James Prince. James Prince, your mama. Your mama. Do you hear me? James Sr. You sent your hit squad. Y'all had a chance to get me. Honeycomb Brazy. I told y'all I was in the city. Told you I was in the bitty. I told you I was in your city.
Now, Jay Prince has been under fire from the FBI for years because he's looked at as one of the guys that made it out. Now, we know that he had an older brother that was in there putting in work, that was getting that work. Jay come in, they create the record label, they make millions of dollars, and the W man and the FBI don't like that, right? He's supposed to be in their federal penitentiary for life, right? That's what he's supposed to be doing. But he came out and he made millions of dollars. The issue is if this is true and these guys are arrested, because everything is on a computer grid, they already got it on camera. They see everything, right? If this is true and those guys are arrested, and when they get arrested, they're in some type of gang file that could connect them back to mob ties, then you setting up a recipe for a RICO for the feds to come in now and get you. Right? We know that you've done videos in the past talking about that one corrupt cop that was trying to put a case on you, right? You've been talking about this stuff that they've been coming after you, right? We hear the Scarface where they say F Ronnie Carbone or whatever. Don't ask me it about James, right? Then the song "Look Into My Eyes," what Scarface was talking about it, right? So we already know that you've been under fire for a while from these people, right? But I don't know, man. He's saying this.
Seeing is believing. I just had to share one example of many of the criminal lies that's told on my name on a daily basis. Clearly, this is a drug deal taking place on text message, with my name being used to seal a deal that I have no knowledge of or involvement in no capacity. These type of made-up scenarios and lies are the type of excuses the feds uses to constantly harass me and try to incriminate me by the use of another person's actions. Because when they arrest them, they rely on you. Let me say something to you clowns, who in my opinion lie on my name and who are trying to set me up. In my opinion, some of y'all are doing things out of ignorance, and others like Darrell D-Town Lewis, Ronald Bookman, and Sylvester Brown are, in my opinion, snitching. trying to get themselves ahead in life or out of trouble. There's a movement by some rogue FBI agents and federal prosecutors that have a hate J. Prince racism disease. So once again, just like the rogue DEA agents I wrote about in my book, The Art and Science of Respect, that recently got arrested in Louisiana, no one believed me in Texas or did anything about them until over a decade later. It took Congresswoman Maxine Waters and the late great Janet Reno to put a spotlight on the rogue DEA agents' actions. These fearless women were criticized by politicians because they recognized the injustice being done and intervened before anyone else was smart enough to even realize they were dealing with crooked agents. To this day, no one wants to accredit these women for their forward movement, but I do, because their involvement possibly saved my life. I've had drugs planted on me on 2 different occasions by dirty cops and had to beat those cases in court.
So that's Jay Prince explaining about his turbulent past and about crooked DEA agents and police officers trying to plant drugs on him and coming after him and all the things in real life, not pertaining to rap music, things that was going on out of the cameras, right? In real life scenarios where they was coming after him, right? Because he's made millions of dollars, in the streets. And the thing is, why would you want to be at 60 something? Why would you want to be connected to this bullcrap, right? With the internet, where people just go and say anything on the mic to sell records, right? You got Takeoff being unalived in your city. You got what's that dude from Chicago that was selling the jewelry? He got unalived in your city. Your nephew was unalived in the garage 2 years ago, right? You got just too much stuff around you, man, that's not good. That's not good. Yeah, Shakur Stevenson, that's what I meant to say, right? Right? You have way too many people around you that's been unalived, right? That's not good. What was the guy that you was beefing with that joined the Ghetto Boys that burned down one of the studios and he ended up going to jail? It's just like you got way too much. Then you and Scarface fell out, right? You and Willie D basically fell out, but Willie D just don't talk about it. He just moved on, right? So you got a lot of scars, man, and a lot of bad things on your name. And now we in the internet age where people could just expose that, and you can't be the big bad bully. We're in an age now where the nerd, the goofball can bully the bully through the internet. So you should be being quiet, because Charleston White wasn't done.
You sent some weight to shoot a gun at me. Pow! I started to call the police. And go point out because I saw the shot the gun. I was looking back and shut down the whole event. But why would I make my sister, Dr. Candace Matthews, she got white people there, home, elected officials, talking political talk, and James Prince and his goon squad, Rap A Lot Records. Now, don't get me wrong, we'll be making a call to the FBI in the morning. I will be calling the FBI in the morning to file a report. Why? Because James Prince sent a representative. James Prince sent a representative of Rap A Lot Records, Mob Ties, Criminal Enterprise, to come speak to me, to intimidate me, to apologize to James Prince publicly. So I will be going down to the FBI office in the morning to put this in documentation, because we know he had Takeoff killed. We know he had Takeoff killed for the illegal gambling, and I got information on the illegal gambling and the Takeoff case. One of Rap A Lot people called me and gave me information about how they shooting the I just know that. So he's trying to intimidate me from talking to the FBI. He done with the wrong and they shot it.
So for me, I don't know why you allow your sons to be affiliated with anything Mob Ties. Before your sons was born, you was already putting in that work. You put in work so they don't have to put in work, right? I saw when y'all was on that one of them podcasts and your other son was crying, right? he ain't a street guy. You ain't raised him to be that way. I grew up in the streets. I grew up in the late 80s, early 90s, in and out of juvie hall, in and out of prison, in and out of all kinds of stuff, right? My son, I created urban nerves for my son. I break that cycle. My son ain't coming up like that. My son ain't a street boy. My son ain't been around dead bodies in the street and all that kind of stuff. I ain't raised him like that. I'm proud of that. I took my son away from that drama and that trauma. He on his way to college, right? He on his way to college. So you lived in life where your sons don't have to. Why y'all gotta be affiliated with mob ties? What's up with this insatiable infatuation with death, destruction, despair, and want to be mob and want to? No, you made it. You got millions of dollars. You come from nothing. Why? I mean, for life of me, I don't understand my people sometimes. What is up with this mentality? Right? I went the opposite way. I created urban nerves. I've been to 40 funerals. I had a daughter. One of my daughters was shot when she was 3, caught in the crossfire. My best friend, one of my best friends, died in my arms. I've seen it all. At some point, I made a choice and said, man, I'm done with that. I'm done with the N-word traps, the ninja traps, the W-man traps, and got my whole community in disarray and our minds messed up. Man, I'm bringing intelligence back to the hood, and I'm gonna do what I gotta do to bring intelligence back to these kids, man. So I created urban nerves and raised my son and my nephews up in this, not that crap. So I'm trying to understand why y'all gotta be mob ties. Why? Why are your names being brought up and so much stuff associated with death after your father done made so much money? Why? It doesn't make any sense. But, you know, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I'm going to cut this short here. If y'all made it this far in the video, hit that like button. Subscribe to Street Media TV and leave your comments in the comment section. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.